So it's me, it's Johnny Boy. I'm in France.
Yep, Paysalia.
What's it called?
Paysalia.
And what's it about, Paysalia?
Landscaping exhibition.
Right, so you are with
Rubi.
and you produce probably the best porcelain tile cutters, if not the world, throughout Europe as well.
Correct.
So what have we got here?
Right, so here we have
Come and have a look.
the newest machine in our armoury, DCX-250, 1250, available 1250 length, 1550 length. So
you've got two machines there, one at 1250,
Yep.
one at 1550.
Correct. So 1250, cutting length from here to there, 1250, with plunge, about 1400.
So for those contractors out there, what's the plunge about? Tell us about the plunge in simple terms.
Plunge is the ability to move the blade up and down so that we can actually use it, we can lock to what depth we want, and we can slide material underneath, plunge through.
So when you're cutting the porcelain, this allows you, under control, to drop the blade down in a plunge effect, cutting through the porcelain.
Also, if you want to cut the middle out of a tile, you can plunge it into the tile.
In that specific point.
Yes.
And that's the benefits of that.
Yes.
Okay, and you have this where the water comes out, because this is a wet cut, isn't it?
It is a wet machine, so the blades are designed to be used wet only, not dry. This is the new Python. So we've got a fully adjustable water cannula here, which we can then put to whatever depth we want to be on the top of the tile, so the water is hitting the blade at the point of contact with the tile.
Right, Paul, I've got to ask, I've got to stop you at this point. How important is it to keep the blade nice and cool and wet? How important?
Totally. Vitally important.
So what's...
Diamonds don't like heat.
Right, so you need to keep it nice and wet and cool all the time.
Lubrication, also to cool the blade to stop premature wear.
Okay. And what we've got here, if we look underneath, you've got a reservoir, haven't you?
Yep.
And this is the pump. Let's get the pump out.
We have bucket, 30 litres.
Okay.
That sits under, and the pump then drops into the bucket.
So that's just going to keep recycling.
Yeah, it just pump, and then this tray is designed to recirculate the water down these trays, which have been also developed with channels in them
to direct the water. And the reason for that is so the water doesn't spill over the side as well.
Yep, so try and stop as much water going over the side into that channel, back into that bucket.
And it's important as well to keep an eye on that and keep it topped up and keep the water clean.
Basically, what I would say is at least once a day, clean that bucket.
Look,
water cools blades, sludge doesn't.
Now, I'm really excited about this machine, right? I'm really excited about the industry as it's changed at the moment, but the industry has changed massively over the last 4 years. And we don't, as general contractors, we don't know enough about these saws, do we? We don't know, and that's the reason for this video.
Basically, the materials have changed. So, sandstone, fantastic material for paving, very easy to cut, very easy to work with. Porcelain, much more difficult to work with, but a much harder and more durable, more resilient, maintenance-free option for paving.
Let's face it. So there you are. You've got a customer. They're spending an awful lot of money on a product. We cannot be cutting porcelain with a disc cutter, can we?
Not to get the best finish.
No.
If you want a perfectly accurate, perfect straight cut with minimal chipping, then you've got to be using a wet cutter.
Okay.
It's got to be some form of wet machine, whether it be a bridge saw, whether it be a portable saw, but wet is the key here.
Look, listen, I'm really excited about this, Paul, right? And as you know, I had the previous saw, what was it called?
DX-250.
The DX-250. I know exactly what it was, but what the difference for me, the big difference, it were the legs. Can we have a look at the legs and explain the change? Here we are. Come and have a look over here. Come and have a look at these legs now, and you'll be able to see the difference in
what we've got. We've actually got a DX-350 sat here with the old traditional legs.
Okay.
So these, you have to lift the whole machine up to get the legs, to lift the legs. This machine, and there we go.
And we can just put it, and it clips in, doesn't it? Right, okay. Right, I get that. And let's put that back in now, because we don't want the machine to fall. And again, you've got these...
Clip.
There we are.
Unclip it.
very simple. And I got to tell you, Paul, is my machine, which is the 1550, it's bigger than this, and I'm able to move it around and get in the back of my van. Very, very simple.
You've got much larger transit wheels on this, so 200mm wheels, designed for more off-road.
Okay.
So rather than being designed to be worked onto a smooth concrete floor in somebody's house or a pathway, these have been designed with the landscaper in mind.
To make life a lot more easy for us.
You can get it onto the building site.
Now, when we look at the old saw that I had, and we look at the rail itself, this rail is a lot wider, it's a lot thicker, isn't it?
Yeah, this is massively reinforced for torsion, both lateral and up and down, so that we get more accuracy.
Okay, right, fantastic. Now, again, the previous machine I had was belt driven.
Yes.
This is direct drive.
This one we call direct drive. Basically, the blade is located directly onto the spindle of the motor.
Direct onto the spindle?
Yeah, straight onto the spindle of the motor, direct drive, so the bolt comes through, or the spindle comes through there and it bolts directly to that.
And what's the benefits of that?
You get increased torque.
Okay.
There's basically more accuracy because you've got less moving parts, and the accuracy is the most important thing with this.
So when the blade is in that rotational action, it's got more strength, the speed as well.
So basically you've not got something from there to there which has got to turn, and then you've got more bearings and things like that. This is direct onto the motor, brilliant, perfect accuracy, so that you've got the blade.
Right, okay. So all in all, it's a much better saw than you had before, and you're constantly improving the quality of the machines that you are producing. This is 110, but does it come in 240?
Yeah, 230 or 240 volt and 110 volt, both available for the market.
Okay.
So it depends, exactly the same specification, 2 horsepower motor, the only difference being what power supply you use.
Right, okay.
Either a transformer or straight to a power socket.
Now, I know this, the beauty of this saw is that you can change the blade and cut different materials, can't you?
Correct, yeah.
So what are we looking at? What sort of materials are we changing the blade?
Anything.
Like what?
Concrete blocks, block pavers, concrete paving stone.
But you must change the blade.
Yes. It's a blade suitable for product being cut.
Yeah.
So sandstone, marble, granite, porcelain, whatever. This is fitted with an SPT blade, which is the blade that we designed purely for 20mm porcelain.
Right, okay.
Or the main thing it was designed for. It will do 30mm granite, things like that as well, but it was developed for the porcelain. If you want to cut bricks, fine. Put a blade on it that cuts bricks.
Right, okay.
Something like the SHR.
And the beauty of this saw, for me, Paul, I think without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, this is a game changer. This is changing lives. If you think...
Saving lives.
Absolutely, saving lives. I got that wrong. And if you think just now, you just not so long ago, 4 years ago, we're using disc cutters, we're not using the water suppressant, because with the water suppressant, you can use this in a 15-metre cubic capacity room.
Yep. So this has got the zero dust, which is this series of brushes here.
Yeah, right, okay.
So the idea of this is that the dust is there's still dust from wet cutting, but the dust is encapsulated in water particles.
Right.
The water particles, when they hit something hard, explode.
Right, okay.
Then the dust is airborne. With this, the water particles hit this brush and they slide back down into the reservoir. The water is neutralised. The dust is neutralised.
No dust getting on your chest.
Not in your lungs.
That's no good.
It's in the water, not your lungs.
Right.
So basically, this was developed. It's been TNO, which is a Dutch organisation with very, very strict control measures, and this has all been tested.
You're taking the contractor in consideration all the time. It's about health and safety. The other thing, of course, the beauty of this, I'm so excited that we can cut miters with it, can't we?
Yep. So we loosen the bridge.
Look at that.
And there we have 45-degree mitre, or any angle from 45 back to 90.
Right, what a great facility. This is all the tools.
And again, perfect accuracy.
Yeah.
So if you're mitering to do round a wall or cladding, steps, whatever, you've got perfect accuracy for a full 90-degree mitre.
And let's face it, we are not cutting a block or a slab on some sand. We're putting our foot on, are we? We're putting the unit that we want to cut in place. It's in a safe position. We can mark it.
You're not breaking your back.
No, absolutely.
You're not bent over. It's at a nice height, working height, so that basically you put the slab on and you've got no bending over. And literally, it is as easy as... That's the only pressure that you need while you're cutting. A couple of fingers. If you pull it too hard, you will get problems where basically the blade will not cut correctly.
You have to allow it to cut, don't you?
The blade does the work, not the muscles.
No, absolutely. Just to let
Put the guns away and just let the blade do the work.
And have some faith in your machine that you've actually produced. Do you know, Paul, this is an absolutely fantastic product. And, you know, I'm over the moon with the one I've got, and I'm using it on a regular basis. And it's just changed things for me. So thank you for explaining about that. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about some few other products that Rubi have got on display at Paysalia.
So
and if you are a landscaper or a contractor, next year, get yourself out here, isn't it?
Yeah, Lyon in France. So this is the stand. As you can see, lots of people. Come and talk to us.
Well, Mr. Rubi, many thanks for that. Really appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
And thanks once again for sharing. I really, really appreciate it. No problem. See you soon. Take care.